And then I really couldn't explain where all of that phlegm came from.
There's so much phlegm, Gary.
I know.
Hello. Guys, welcome to we're an hour later than usual, but we are just doing a little hanging out, a little chitty chat, a little hot chat, if you will, about nerdy things and nerdy business. And let's see. Oh, my eyeballs. They're burning.
Yeah, so as everybody knows by now, because it was announced, last week?
Yeah.
You know, in the every day is a month timeline that we're in right now.
Yeah.
DragonCon is going to be online. So DragonCon is going to look a lot like what we've been doing, with this gentleman right here and I have been doing for 15 weeks now. This is number 14, isn't it?
Yeah, 15.
15. So you are. Oh, wait, you are.
Oh, hey, yeah.
I'll get this right.
I'm okay. I'm gonna point. I'm double pointing at myself, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joe Crowe. I'm your co-director, if you will, right here, and right over. Dad, 50-50 shot, and I blew it. There is Gary Mitchel.
Anytime you have a 50-50 chance at something, there's a 75% chance you're going to get it wrong.
That's right.
It's just math. I mean, it's just math.
Simple math.
Yes, I am Gary Mitchel. I am the co-director with Mr. Crowe of the Classics track. And what are we doing tonight, Joe?
We usually have a topic, and then like around Wednesday afternoon, both of us realized we haven't thought of anything to do a quarantine panel on.
Week.
So here we are, and we thought we would just throw the floor open to you people and answer your questions and rant furiously about your comments, that kind of thing. No big whoop.
Yeah. So because as I said earlier, DragonCon has officially canceled in person. It is still happening online. So Joe and I were ready. We had a full weekend ready to go for if, con had happened.
Yeah.
And now we have spent the last week pretty much going, okay, change gears.
Yes. Like we were prepared to do live action convention things. And then all of a suddenly we
Suddenly, I'm trying to get Amazon to cancel an order for a 55-gallon drum of hand sanitizer.
It's already probably on its way to your house, Gary.
Probably. I'm going to wake up dipped in it.
Really, Lola? Yes.
Absolutely.
Is amazing. We are claiming it.
All right. So we'll start with that question, but we'll start with, I guess I just want to get the rest of the setup out of the way.
Yes.
So Joe and I have spent the last hour we normally spend talking to all of you, talking to each other, and planning. So just everyone can rest assured, we have, let me check my notes. We have the next 6 weeks of Thursday night quarantine panels ready. We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. And that 6th one is the Thursday before Labor Day weekend. And we'll go ahead and announce that one and only that one. That one will be another one of these. That one's going to be wild shenanigans. We're going to have special guests. Anyone could show up. Anybody could pop in. And we're just going to get ready for con.
Yeah. It'll be like we were, a lot of people already had vacations planned for con, and now they're just going to be at their houses, but they didn't cancel their vacation. So instead of going to a hotel and hanging out with your friends come hang out with us on your computer.
We're your real friends.
Your actual friends.
Yes. We love you for who you are.
And we don't take up any space in your hotel room.
Yeah. We won't eat your ramen.
No. We're not going to litter your floor with the $12 one-piece pizza box. We're not going to do that. We're going to eat the pizza in our own houses and throw it away in our own garbage cans or recycle it, because that is being good to the earth.
Yes.
Like Swamp Thing insists.
Right. So, with all that out of the way, we also do have plans for Con Weekend. Here is what we are officially allowed to say so far. DragonCon will be online. There will be online panels. Watch this space.
Yeah.
Watch DragonCon space. That's all we can say. It's still being worked out. There are still meetings. Joe had a meeting tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're still everything is in flux. Everything's fluxing.
So, with all that set up out of the way, Joe, do you want to get started and just go down the list?
Let's go down the list.
Yeah. So we started with, does Tremors count as a classic? Joe? I think Joe clicked on the wrong thing.
Did I just kick myself out of my own?
Yes, you did.
Sherman says, can we ask multiple questions? Good Lord, yes.
Greetings, program.
Where Tom Morris, you are he is a podcaster, I believe, and he I don't know if Tom, if you were, I'm talking to the comment right now. Were you planning on being at DragonCon physically? Because we were going to put you on like 13 panels. There, I said it.
Yeah, here is one of the, I don't know if it's a secret, but it's definitely one of the factoids of the Classics track. Once we get our hooks in you, you don't get out.
No. Hey, I want to be on a panel. Okay, here's 17 panels. Okay, here's 10 years of servitude.
That's UK.
Yeah.
I still get daggered looks from people about what I did to her.
Ask literally anyone who's been on our panels. They're like, all I wanted to do was talk about Sequest DSV. That really happens.
Yes. So, Tremors, yes, it's a classic, both in the fact that it's old enough to be a classic and it's a classic movie. It's a good movie. I love Tremors.
Tremors is a really good movie. The horror track, they cover horror stuff, but there's a lot of horror stuff too. So a lot of there's a crossover between, like, we love the horror track. Gary, you did panels with them last year, I believe, and the year before, and probably the year before. And they have done panels with us. We've co-promoted. So there's not such a dividing line between the horror track and us, because we just kind of, like with Beetlejuice, which comes up later in the thread right there, it's a toss-up. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes our horror track guys will get Nightmare Before Christmas, for example, or Beetlejuice, and sometimes we would get it. So,
or sometimes it goes to dark fantasy. It's a weird mishmash.
It is a weird mishmash. And
sometimes it's a simple matter of the horror track going, no, we love this. You can't have it. And we go, okay.
Okay. Exactly.
But they are very, very gracious and usually will share with us. Like zombies, we share with them and with the Apocalypse track.
There's enough zombies for everybody.
Yes. Alan Pinion points out that this will be the first DragonCon he has not attended in 24 straight years. I find that to be a sad state of affairs.
Braggadocious much.
My first one was 99, and I've missed 2. One because I was broke, and one because I went to visit friends in Seattle. What about you, Joe? What was your first?
96 maybe, but I didn't come every year.
Mm-hmm.
The 90s was when I had money for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And
money, but I still came.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't have a lot of money. I had enough money to get me here. I don't know. And then to sleep in an alley. I don't know. That didn't happen. I'm not saying. Maybe it did. But it wasn't until 99 or 2000. It may have been 2000 when I became an official program participant with my buddy Shane Ivey at our little website that became revolutionsf.com, which has now morphed into our live action production of the American Sci-Fi Classics track. But and then I've come every year since then. So I'll say I'm at 19 or 20. I guess this would have been, I guess last year would have been 20 in a row.
Yeah, I think I always have to go back and check my notes because it was either 2003 or 2004 was the last one that I missed. And
the one year that I came and didn't stay very long was was that our first year?
That was our first year, 20.
Because I left Gary high and dry.
You did.
My poor wife.
You had a good reason.
I had a good reason. My poor wife broke her ankle. Like, she didn't just do anything halfway. She basically, her foot exploded. And all she was doing was walking downstairs. But I got away to come to, since it was our first year, I got away for like a day and a half and came over. And the whole time I was there, Gary was doing this. Yeah. And then when I left, he was still going, But my wife is fully recovered. All is well. Gary survived. More or less.
I still wake up crying in the middle of the night.
I know.
I have to say, Joe, one of my favorite weird memories of Dragon Con with you is the one year it was the Monday and I left and I think I'd driven like 2 miles away from the host hotels and I realized I still had the keys to the hotel room, to the track room, and drove back. Like, crap!
Oh, no! Because those things are the keys to the kingdom. They kill you if you
don't turn those back in.
That's a little inside baseball behind the scenes. That kill you.
Lola Stricken also says that she can get her own hot dogs, which I honestly have to say, I'm kind of gonna miss those $6 hotel cheeseburgers. They're terrible, but they're tasty, and I know I'm at con when I'm eating one of these horrible dry cheeseburgers.
Sitting there, nom, 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 nom. Yeah.
It's delicious because I haven't eaten anything else for like 6 hours.
Exactly. And it's right there, and they give it to you in exchange for money. It's right there. I guess I'll do a little commercial for right across from the Marriott, Gibney's Pub. That's my jam. That's where I avoided a celebrity by going and eating chili dogs. That was my dinner. While he was in the classic track room, I went and ate chili dogs at Gibney's. And the chili dogs were delicious.
Yes.
And I got to say, maybe everyone was thankful that I ate the chili dogs in a different hotel then. Because, chili dogs. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Tom Morris says he would have come if he could have gotten a hotel room. And sir, may the odds be ever in your favor.
Yeah, that is the refrain of everyone who tries to come to DragonCon. And as every one of my friends and our buddies and panelists struggle and fight to get rooms at DragonCon, as the official director, I sit upon my ivory throne and go, they take care of that for me. It's nice. And
I've got a cot set up in a corner stairwell of the Marriott going, I hope no one finds me.
You got a whole stairwell corner.
Yeah. Well, you fight off the pizza rats.
There's lots of them at the DragonCon.
Oh, Tom Morris points out that he has done a panel with us. He did the Villains Hall of Fame where I was Jabba the Hutt. That was a fun panel.
Oh my gosh, that's great, Tom! Oh my gosh, what a flashback! That was so
way early in our career. I don't think we were directors yet.
No, we weren't. It was on the literature track with our pal Sue, who still runs the literature track. It was in a tiny little room in a basement. Well, I think it's still there, but it was dead authors. No, it wasn't. That was a completely different thing. It was
defend themselves.
That's right. And I think I was Elric.
Yes.
And because he's a jerk. And you and the guy next to you was the hunter that shot Bambi.
Yeah. Or Bambi's mom.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Who was the worst villain?
Bambi survived. All deer. I don't see different deer. All deer look the same to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I spoke Huttese for my entire thing, and you were my translator. And I have to say, Joe, that was one of the most sublime moments because we were just in sync.
Tom, you were the guy that shot Bambi's mom? No way! What the heck?
Well, I have said for years that you were the worst villain on that panel. So congratulations, good sir.
Because you were just basically a pro wrestling villain for the entire hour.
Yeah, it was a delight watching you, sir. It was a wonderful performance.
It was an hour of improv. We didn't plan nothing. And Gary, let me just say, chef's kiss, mwah, because with no preparation, you just went into the Jabba the Hutt voice and stayed in it for an hour. And for an hour. It was a thing of beauty.
People would think we planned it. It was glorious.
Glorious. You gotta find your own fun at sci-fi convention panels. I have to say this, Gary, do you go to panels to just watch anymore?
I can't. I have been to a few other conventions, and if I'm not on the panel, I'm sitting in the chair going, I have something to say.
Yes, like I need to be in front of people talking right now. I might have stopped me. Of course you've heard the story, but at another convention here in my town in Birmingham last year, I went to a panel, assumed I was on it, walked up and sat down, and they said, "Oh, you're not on this panel." And I said, it just blurted it out. I said, "Oh, I don't do audience." And I realized, well, that's kind of a b-hole comment to make, but it's true. And I ended up not doing audience. I feel like I got on that panel, but
was it?
I ain't got time for that, man.
Wasn't it at Hypericon in Tennessee where you and I showed up for a panel to watch it, and the people were there like, "Oh, you two are this panel, right?" And we went, "Yes, we are." And
that's right. No panelists showed up. No panelists showed up. And we invite other people from the audience to be on the panel?
I think we did.
Of course, we did that more than once at Hypericon that year, but no one showed. So we were like, look, we got this.
Well, there's a Mr. Kevin Eldridge confirming that, yes, we never let people go.
Nope.
Sherman's asking, can you be on a panel? You already have been. Welcome to the fold. The hooks are in.
The hooks are in.
We had you on one of the quarantine panels. That counts. You're now one of us. One of us.
One of us. There's no escape for you, Sherman.
None. And then Tom asks, what's the cutoff year for Classics Track this time? So what's the official rule again, Joe? It's 20 years?
Technically, it was 10 at one point, but now that 10 is encroaching into like current thing. It's vague. Mm-hmm. I think it's more than 10, let's say, because there are things that are, it's when I say 10, it
has to have been off if it's a TV show, it has to have been off the air for 10 years.
That's right. It has to have been off the air. If it's a movie, it just had to have come out that year. But there's so very many things that we can cover at any particular time that the year cutoff doesn't really affect. It doesn't. Of course, there's stuff there's new stuff that's out right now that we want to talk about, but we'll wait until we cancel.
We can be patient. We can be patient. We've waited for things to come to us.
Yes, many times I've told other panels in other tracks, must be nice. Hope you enjoy that show. As soon as it gets canceled, it's coming to us. Hope you go ahead and enjoy it. One of these days, right here, right there, we'll have it.
Oh, I like Kevin's comment at 10:13 p.m., Joe.
Uh-oh. Hang on, I'm looking. Doodly-doo-doo, flippity-flop. That's my music of me going down to the thing. Boom, right there. It's true. So there's something called the Footloose Clause because our parents forbade dancing. And we also almost died while driving tractors, both me and Gabe. So that's what we call the Footloose Clause.
Yes. Oh, other things people will miss: the food court. The rum punch bucket. Oh, con-sweet nachos.
Whenever anyone brought in a rum punch bucket, I would be like, well, where do you get those? And then they would tell me where to get them, and then I would never have time to go and get them. So I would just have to be caffeinated instead of drunk.
Yeah, it's like I have been to the con-suite. I think I usually make it maybe once, never more than once, maybe twice. I think I did twice one year because it's in that weird location in the Hyatt where you've got to take the stairs because the elevators in the Hyatt are But yeah, and I usually don't go because by the time I do get to go or have the time to go, it's like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and there's nothing sadder than picked over nachos. I mean, regular non-sweet nachos are bad enough, but picked over nachos. Hey, there we go.
We can do that.
Lola wants to know who you were avoiding at Gibney's. Was it Lou Ferrigno?
which was not Lou Ferrigno, and I have a happy ending about Lou Ferrigno, so to speak. That didn't come out correctly at all.
This isn't that kind of panel.
No. Lou Ferrigno was at Dragon Con a year before last, and I hosted a panel with him. He was perfectly nice, and I did not mention that story to him at all. So we went through the whole panel. Now, the only really, I mean, he was great. He was good. The only little shtick we did was when he came out. Of course, his veins and his muscles are rippling, and he said, "I just got through working out," and I said, "And so did I." And I got like 2 people in the audience that laughed. I'm like, man, that's funny stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. But Lou Ferrigno gave me the nod. He gave me the, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was like the first panel of the convention with me and Mr. Ferrigno. I coughed at one point because I was talking a lot because I'm an idiot. I don't know. I coughed. Humans cough, Gary. And I coughed, and Lou Ferrigno said, "Do you want me to hit you?" And I said, "Please don't." And I said, "Wait a minute, you did play a paramedic once, I'm sure, right?" And he laughed and said he was actually a paramedic. He has official paramedic training. So the Hulk not only could crush you, he also could save your life. There was a, I don't know, do you remember this movie? There was a movie that came out a few years ago called, was it I Love You, Man? I think, with Jason Segel, where a guy, Jason Segel.
Paul Rudd too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. He gets in Lou Ferrigno's face and yells at him, and Lou Ferrigno beats him up. And I thought, is this movie about my life? How did this happen? But no, Lou Ferrigno's great. Yeah. Nothing but...
He is a big sweetheart of a man. Sherman, next year you're determined to stay close enough to the con. You can go to a panel pass. You've never been to a panel past 10 a.m.? Look, sleep is for the weak.
Sherman, 10 p.m. is when the good stuff starts.
Yeah.
After 10 p.m. on the not to pat ourselves on the back there, we do. That's usually when our late night charity movie comes on. That we lock people in, and you have to donate to charity to leave. Or on other options are we'll do like a short movie panel, and then just have a lovely presentation of a delightful film, such as UHF. Which was great to see. A lot of these movies are so fun to see with people. We watched Spaceballs with a group of people and had the cosplayers come in with the giant helmets. It was a delight. Avoid the anime room after 2 a.m.
Well, it depends on what you're looking for. That's all I'm going to say.
It depends on what you're looking for, indeed.
and what your tolerance is for tentacles.
Speaking of tentacles, we're binge watching Supernatural, which is not on our track, so I don't know why but there was an episode with a tentacle monster, and that thing shot out of the lady's mouth, and it is disturbing. Like, I'm going to have nightmares. Oh, yeah.
Cat from Outer Space. We did watch that. Heather Stephenson said hi. Hello, Heather.
Heather, hey.
Oh, we have actual legit questions from people.
Uh-oh.
One from Deanna. You know, Deanna, why haven't you joined us? Deanna, why aren't you in here with us? You know, we put the link out. You did put the link out there, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. Deanna wants to know Who do you love more, Joe, Gary or Deanna?
It's tough. This is a tough one. I want to say that I love you both equally, but that is a cop-out. So for now, at this moment in my heart, I'm going to say that I love Gary more. There I've chosen. And here's why. You're right there.
Mm-hmm.
Where the heck are you, Deanna? Are you here? Are you in the dadgum chat right now? Are you rather?
Well, she is in the chat, but she should be.
She's all up in the chat. Are you in our fancy room right here, hanging out, doing cool stuff? Nope. So Gary's my guy. Oh, I got the sad faces from Deanna. Look.
Well, that's what she gets for not joining the chat. That's all. That's the price you pay.
Options.
Mr. Mike Faber of the ESO Network, all hail the director of the ESO Network, wants to know apple pie or bucket of rum. Inquiring minds want to know. Pie. Especially Michael Faulkner's pie.
Oh, dang. Michael Faulkner's pie. Shout out to the Faulkners.
Mind you, that's like choosing my favorite baby. But pie. 9 times out of 10.
I'm not anti a bucket of rum, but I gotta say, apple pie moonshine though. I get your toe up, Gary. Mm-hmm. Heck yeah. I'm
waving day boner.
I'm pro apple pie as well. So that's 2 apple pies and 0 for buckets of rum. I don't know if the chat room wants to weigh in on pie versus rum, but let me tell you, I think we're 2-0 for the pie.
Well, Deanna is consoling herself with godless Canadian hot tea with.
No, Deanna, no. This is why. If we
the War of 1812 settled this.
It's been like 208 years, Deanna. Come on.
Lola votes the rum. Kevin wants the pie because the rum buckets are $12.
Okay, so Tom votes for the rum. When we buy
look, that's the one thing you got.
Yes. Let me just say, if you wanted to do it again right now, that'd be okay. All right. Anyway,
Sherman has a legitimate
Joe's political corner.
Yes. Sherman has a legitimate question here.
Okay.
Were either of your lives affected by the first death of Optimus Prime? I will never forgive Hot Rod.
Freaking Hot Rod. What kind of replacement for Optimus Prime is Hot Rod? There was no internet, no constant flow of news for us to understand that in the TV season that had to follow up that movie, they were going to figure it out and try to resolve our feelings of terror and angst from Optimus Prime being killed.
I never knew my boys could die.
No,
and that was like, they killed my robot dad. He was my robot dad.
Yep.
Oh God, just took my heart out.
A trailer full of grief. That is what the Transformers movie provided for us.
Yeah. Oh, I was broken. Tom says
and the TV show when he came back didn't really help.
Yeah. It was like
Tom said they had to take him out of the theater. I get that. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to be a lot of the kids from Avengers Infinity War.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it's his story, and I shouldn't tell it, but I'm going to because he's not here. Our good friend Dave from Needless Things podcast, which you should be listening to, talk about taking his son to go see Infinity War, and Spider-Man is his son's guy, which is why he and his kid, I'm like, Spider-Man's my boy. And, just the end of the movie and I don't want to go, and dusting, and his son sitting there crying. And he said he had a crisis as a parent of having to decide, do I let my child process this grief like I processed the death of Optimus Prime, or do I tell him, no, there's a sequel coming, he'll be okay?
But really, he wasn't okay. He wasn't okay for like 2.5 hours of that sequel. So as you're like, okay, imagine telling your child, okay, wait a year, and then we go see the movie. Now wait 2.5 more hours. Now, when Spidey came back, it was fine. That was nice.
And then Tony dies.
What the heck, guys? What are you trying to do, Marvel Cinematic Universe? Not cool.
All right. Speaking of the mighty Mr. Faulkner, he has a question for us.
Oh.
What is your favorite brand of sandwich? Of course, by sandwich, I mean hot dog.
Sneaky Pete's chili dogs. Had them yesterday. Them Sneaky Pete's with the mustard and the chili.
There is my favorite used to be a Sonic's foot-long chili cheese dog, but there is a local eatery here, chain called the Varsity.
I forgot about the Varsity.
Oh, their chili cheese hot dogs with slaw. Mwah. Oh, it's a delight. It's an absolute delight. The store brands. I'm a ballpark all beef. It has to be. I don't like the mixed. It's got to be an all beef hot dog.
Do you remember, Gary, the patchwork abominations from our childhood called Frankenstuffs?
Oh my God, I'd forgotten them until you mentioned that.
There were two varieties that I recall. One of them had cheese injected inside the wiener.
Uh-huh.
A very painful.
Which is a phrase you never really want to hear.
Well, don't do that. Yes, don't ever. And then, secondly, you had your cheese injected into the wiener, and then also you had one with the chili injected into the wiener.
Yep.
And I don't know how it happened, but let me tell you,
terrible. Yeah.
Much neater for the eating experience than the actual chili dog, because you were combining the meat and the chili into one product.
Yeah, and I'm also reminded of the meme I shared recently of a hot dog is processed meat that has been sealed into a casing, usually an intestine. So when you eat a hot dog, you become a hot dog.
That is terrifying and yet true.
Deanna's got two questions.
Okay.
We should qualify one of them.
Let's see. That is the Sequest one the first one?
The Sequest one is the first one.
I'm gonna do it. Boop! Right there.
You think she might be biased there, Joe?
I feel like we're doing Team Sequest here from Deanna Toxopeus. Conveniently enough, Gary, I believe we have an announcement, a Sequest-related announcement for a few weeks from now.
Yeah, we will be doing a Sequest panel in 2 weeks. Panel week.
That's dose weeks.
Deanna, what are you doing in 2 weeks?
What are you doing in 2 weeks, Deanna?
With you.
You want to reverse that whole Gary versus Deanna love fest thing that's happening? 2 weeks.
Oh,
You got
see, I expect a photograph of you with a bottle of sweet tea.
2 weeks.
You got 2 weeks.
2 weeks. The countdown begins.
Oh, and Lola wants in on Sequest too.
Boom. Nice.
Because, Roy Scheider and a dolphin.
Let's see. I think this is Deanna's second question. That was delightful.
How is this a question? I mean, really, how is this? Is there any debate on this, Joe? I don't think we even need to answer. Everybody knows the answer on this one.
Yeah.
This is a duh question.
It's a real duh question. And technically speaking, if you really want to get into the Dragon Con specifics, we really shouldn't be talking about it because the Brit track really should be handled. But that's okay because it was broadcast in the U.S. at some point.
That's true.
Otherwise, we never would have seen it. Now, when you, Gary, were you like me? And yes, probably is the answer. But when you saw the name of a show called The Avengers in your TV guide, did you go, ooh, 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 Captain America and Thor in live action?
Yes.
Instead, it was British foppery. Why? What's the bar is here. I'm thinking Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, and I get a dude. There was also a show called The Defenders, and I was mad about that too.
Yeah, where was the Hulk? Where was the Hulk?
Hawk and Hulk, we're not in that. Still mad.
Yeah.
There was a show called The Invaders, but at least it had aliens.
Yes.
Submariner was not in it, but
we could do a whole panel on Quinn Martin Productions, couldn't we?
Quinn Martin Productions. My daughter is not named after him.
No.
But, or is she?
Maybe. But yeah, I mean, God, there was so many shows in the 60s and 60s.
Dude.
I watched in reruns. Hey, Quinn. There was just something about the production that just, ooh.
Nice. British foppery. I love it. Oh, okay, here we go. We got another legitimate question. Hang on. Where is it? There it is. I love it.
We love you, Deanna.
Deanna is the best, except for the freaking hot tea thing. Honestly, I'm looking right at you, Deanna.
Yeah, everybody's got their faults.
One, she has one fault.
She has no idea how to drink tea properly, like a civilized person.
Let's just, we joke around with our pal Deanna, but the bottom line is you drink tea wrong. You're gonna drink it cold with the sweetness. And anyway, so we've derailed the panel once again, Gary.
Isn't that what we always do?
Yeah.
Oh, Deanna, you have a filthy mind.
All right. Okay, let's see. Well, okay. We got a legitimate question here. Copyright 2020. Legitimate question. Tom Morris, the guy that killed Bambi's mother. I'm so glad that you're that guy because I remember thinking that dude is hilarious. We got to get him on our panels. I'm not kidding, Gary. We got to get him on our panels. We got to find, because I remember looking for your website, whatever it was, found nothing. Whatever, I think I shot an email out into the dark at the time because it was 2000 or 2001. And here you are. It's like a Craigslist reunion without the Russian mafia.
Yeah.
How do you get things on Craigslist other than the Russian mafia? Okay, anyway, legitimate question.
I've got to go. I mean, that's a hard one because 88 has Beetlejuice. 90 has Total Recall.
Total recalling.
And 92 has Terminator 2, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm Googling it right now. Oh, dang.
Oh, Terminator 2 was 91, so there we go.
But 92 was Alien 3, which did not happen as far as I'm concerned.
Ooh, yeah. So I disqualify 1992 and just on that reason alone. I'm going to go with 88.
Let's see, pound for pound, if you're way, I'm going to go 1990 for the reason being Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park was 90? I thought it was 93.
Maybe I was up. You know what? Never mind. I was totally wrong. Never mind. Okay, now why would I go with? Okay, yeah, I was totally wrong.
Oh, 92 does have Unforgiven. And wasn't the Bram Stoker's Dracula in 92? Yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula was 92. Okay, so here's a funny story. One of my favorite memories. A friend of mine, I fell in love with Dracula, the Bram Stoker's Dracula. I mean, Anthony Hopkins was gorgeous. And I went to see it multiple times, but it helped that I worked at a movie theater so I could get in for free. But I went to go see it and I took a friend to go watch it. And so I knew what was coming. The scene when Lucy dies and it cuts to her in the glass coffin and all the white. And we get that shot of her after this this bloodbath death thing. And as it starts to pull back, I just lean over to my friend and I go, wouldn't that make an awesome coffee table? And his reaction was basically Joe's. And he almost fell out of his chair into the floor. And I hear from two rows behind us, I hear somebody going, look at the white boys. Look at the white boys.
Awesome. So, actual things that came out in 1990. Abraxas, Guardian of the Universe, starring Jesse the Body Ventura. I feel terrible that I have not seen this movie. I got to work on that. 1990 was a big year for sequels. Back to the Future 3.
Mm-hmm.
Gremlins 2. Let's see.
When was Back to the Future 2?
When was Back to the Future 2? I think it was the previous year, wasn't it? Didn't they do them like, then they lined them up like?
You know, they were real close to each other. It was like only a few months.
I think it was just a few months. It was like maybe one was in the summer and one was at Christmas.
Okay, Back to the Future Part 2 was 89 and Part 3 was 90.
Okay, well,
it was very, but I do believe, let's see if we got the release date. It was November 22nd, 89. Back to the Future Part 3 was May 25th. So, yeah, from November to May.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't make us Avenger it and wait that long. You have to wait a year. A year.
Freaking year. RoboCop 2, Predator 2.
I love Predator 2. It does not get the love it deserves.
Starring Gary
Glover
as himself.
And Gary Crazy Busey. '88 does have Die Hard. Batman was '89.
Not the question. Exactly.
Willow was '88.
Willow.
Which they keep saying, there's going to be a sequel. Yeah, right. Okay, sure.
Yeah, we're still working on that, buddy.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I've finished watching it.
We've got not when I start watching it, because maybe they never finish it. Maybe Disney Plus goes out of business before they finish that sequel. That thing needs to be finished and complete, and the credits roll before I believe that it's happening. And Lola says 88 wins. What about Abraxas, Guardian of the Universe? Come on. There was a Handmaid's Tale movie in 1990. I did not know that.
They've been trying to warn us for a long time.
They've been. We didn't listen. Flatliners was in 89. Was in 90 rather.
Yeah. Yeah. Of the three, I'm still picking 88. Beetlejuice, Die Hard, Roger Rabbit, Coming to America.
And 92.
The greatest movie year of all time is still 1982.
I mean, 1992 had Alien 3.
Disqualifies the whole year right there.
Disqualifies the whole year. Free Jack, which, I mean, okay, I'm with you there. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. The Lawnmower Man.
See, I'm hearing nothing but disappointment.
Yeah. The Lost World, but not Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World. It was a live-action movie of the novel. Now, it did have John Rhys Davies in it, so it was probably pretty good. Yeah, I think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But
based on the H.G. Wells novel.
Why could I not think of that name? Trancers 3. And Universal Soldier. So 92. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm sticking with 19.
Yeah. Okay, Lola, I've got to scroll back. Which movie are you talking about here? Lola says she paid $80 for a DVD, and and she only has her laptop as a DVD player now.
I remember. Why were they so expensive?
Yeah, see, Alan, you're picking up what I'm putting down. 82, Conan the Barbarian, Blade Runner, Wrath of Khan, Tron, Poltergeist, Secret of Nim, Blade Runner. You said, I'm saying it again just because it's so good. The John Carpenter's The Thing, E.T.
Hands down. Yep.
82. It was just the best. Oh, Lola says Handmaid's Tale. It was the movie.
84, though, strong contender.
84 is a good strong contender. Yeah. It hurts me that most of the people I work with weren't alive in the 80s.
Mr. Tom Norris, we may have a little something going on with little celebratory action for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at some point very soon. Here's a legitimate question from Deanna Toxopeus.
Oh. Okay, are we talking the Blue Thunder movie or the Blue Thunder TV show? Because the Blue Thunder TV show had Dick Butkus.
It did. And Dana Carvey?
And, who was the other football guy?
Oh, his buddy. They were like a comedy duo. Dick Butkus and Mean Joe Green? I don't think so.
Hold on. Yeah, but Dana Carvey. My God. I had forgotten Dana Carvey was in that. He's so young.
He was the smart kid who.
Yeah.
He was the computer wizard.
Oh, Bubba Smith.
Bubba Smith, and Dick Butkus.
Yeah. James Ferrantino as fake Roy Scheider.
Yeah, I was gonna say James Ferrantino is the TV version of Roy Scheider. They should have gotten him to replace Roy Scheider when Roy left on Sequest DSV.
11 glorious episodes.
3 more than Manimal? Son.
I actually, as a kid, liked Blue Thunder more, but I thought Dick Butkus and Bubba Smith were hilarious.
Yeah.
But if I have to choose which one's the better show, Airwolf. Which one's the better chopper? Blue Thunder. So yeah, I'm splitting into different.
No.
And Airwolf had the better theme song.
It did. And, Deanna makes a strong point. Ernest Borgnine. Love me some Borgnine.
He's my favorite Star Trek character. Ernest Borgnine.
Mine too. The first 8 Borgs, though, not as good as Ernest Borgnine.
No.
I think we can all agree.
Oh, yeah.
Still waiting on Borgnine to come out. Thanks a lot, Star Trek.
Now I've got this image in my head, and I have to share it with you all, and someone's going to have to do this in Photoshop and make it happen.
Please.
Ernest Borgnine as 7 of 9. 7 of 9.
Someone get to work on this.
It hurts. It hurts.
All right, hang on. I got to put it out there. I'm going to put it out there. Somebody's got to do it. I'm going to go into the dadgum chat, and I'm going to say...
Ernest 7 of Borgnine. Oh, God. You're all... I'm sorry, Internet. I am so sorry. No, I'm not. No, I'm not at all.
No.
Jason De La Torre says, Airwolf rules. You are correct, sir.
Ernest 7 of Borgnine. Nice. And that's me saying it right there. I'm throwing down the gauntlet.
The first 8 Borgs died in McHale's Navy. That's good. Bravo, sir. Bravo. Well done. Oh, Deanna says it already exists. She must have found it.
What?
She's sending a link.
Oh, now how do I post that on the
Well, I don't see where she sent the link, so. Where did you send it, Deanna? How did you send it? Oh, Lola just called you out, Joe.
Uh-oh. This one time for Ernest Borgnine, I'll do it.
Oh, there's the link. Okay.
Well, there's the link, everybody, if you want to go. If you want to cut and paste.
I'm just qualifying that because that is Picard. That is not 7 of 9 Borg. That is Picard. That is Locutus of Borg. Do not doubt my Star Trek knowledge. Well, yes, technically that is Ernest Borgnine. That's not what I pitched. So I disqualify the image.
Boom. Ha. So, yeah, somebody get on that Ernest Borgnine thing.
Yeah, it has not Ernest Borgnine. It has to be Ernest of 7 of Borgnine.
Thank you. Let's see. Do you? This just is an evergreen comment that we could just.
Yeah, that could be there all the time.
Okay, Gary, you want to do one more?
Yeah, we got one more from Tom.
Let's do that.
Another one.
Huh. I think my favorite time travel movie is Star Trek 4.
Ooh, strong choice.
Off the top of my head, don't think about it too much. Just Star Trek 4.
I'm going to say Time After Time.
Also good.
H.G. Wells hunting down Jack the Ripper. And it's one of the few times where Malcolm McDowell's a good guy.
Very few. Yeah. Now,
Then there's the sad one, Time and Again, with Christopher Reeve. Love that movie. So sad.
Star Trek 4, it has all the good Star Trek stuff, but is also hilarious.
Yes. They needed to be funny at that point. We needed a break. After 2 and 3, we needed some levity.
100%. Yeah. And there was, and it didn't get super, they did like a whiplash thing around the sun. They didn't get into the time travel tomfoolery and the real science of it or anything like that. They just like pew. Scotty handled it. We got this.
We got it.
There's whales.
Yeah, transparent aluminum. Just it's great, and the novelization is also really good.
Dang it! And all I'm seeing is Facebook user, but dang it, Bill and Ted. How did I not think of Bill and Ted?
All right, Deanna found a 7 of Borgnine. All right, she wins.
Deanna always wins, basically. The Bill and Ted.
More I was expecting, but it counts technically.
Still say somebody should do a new one. Dadgummit. The internet is empty of such things. I need lots. But Bill and Ted, the Bill and Ted Face the Music, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Here we go, Joe. I'm going to share a screen.
Uh-oh. Okay.
That's technically 7 of Borgnine.
Sad trombone. Come on.
It's not quite the horror show I was expecting, but
I'm going to need a little more. I'm going to need a little more activity from that one. Come on, guys.
Oh, Lola, that is a good solid pick. Army of Darkness is a time travel movie, technically.
Dang, it is. That's a very strong choice as well. I like Army of Darkness a lot.
Mm-hmm. I had a group of friends I showed Army of Darkness. We were at a weekend gathering, and they loved it. And I thought the next year, well, I should show them Evil Dead 2, which sets up Army of Darkness. Completely different mood. They didn't, yeah.
I did the same thing. I saw Army of Darkness first and thought, ooh, Army of Darkness is great. I need to go check out these Evil Dead movies. And then,
whoa.
Yeah.
I agree with Jason Delatorre, though. That is a disappointing. I wanted Borgnine in the Jerry. Yeah, I'm right with her with you. I wanted Borgnine in the Jerry Ryan bodysuit.
Right there. Kevin speaks for all of us. We can do better than that, guys.
Isn't that kind of one of our mottos, Joe? The classics track. That's cool. We can
do better. I think that I'm gonna put that on a poster. That's cool, but we can do better, guys. Come on.
Yes. Well, Joe, it's been roughly an hour.
Very roughly in some cases. And speaking of time travel, now I've got the full Doc Brown hair right now.
Yes, you do.
By the way, because my wife and my daughter are not in the room, I can do this. I'm not allowed to do this anywhere in the house. Marty, we've got to go back to the future.
We got to talk about your kids.
I'm not allowed to do that anywhere else in the house.
So, thank you everybody for showing up. Thank you for your lovely questions. Thank you for dealing with our tomfoolery. Director Faber, I hope you are still watching, because everybody come back next week. And I'm hoping Director Faber should be with us. Next week's panel is Surely It Hasn't Been 40 Years Since Airplane.
Uh-huh. I would be there. I would be at that panel, Gary, but I have a drinking problem.
I just what you say for me to stop calling you Shirley.
My little joke would have worked better had I had fluid in that Pepsi bottle. But
yeah, but then you have to clean up.
Nobody wants that. Guys, we love doing all of this. We've got more viewers now than when we started, so I kind of feel like I want to give you guys something. But anyway, thank you again very much for everybody coming and hanging out with us. We love doing this kind of thing. We're going to do more of it. We're going to do, of course, Dragon Con is coming up in a few weeks. And I keep promising that we're going to do stuff in between Thursdays. And yeah. But for real, this time, I mean it. I'm going to get something done. I've got things in my brain, man. Okay. Gary, thank you. Everybody in the chat room, thank you guys very, 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 very much. We're going to do more cool stuff like we do. That's cool, but we can do better. That's the motto of the American side. But thank you to all of our panelists. Thank you to all our buddies that came and hung out with us. We are going to see you all very, very soon on your computers in your house. So join us next week when Gary Mitchel will say,
I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
Nice. By the way, I shout out to Michael Bailey for me throwing it to him 2 weeks ago and him not having any idea what I was doing. I shouldn't have done that. I think he was drinking something as I did it, so I felt like I'm just going to pick on Michael. But in the next week, I do not recommend stopping sniffing glue, because we will be doing an airplane panel next week. Thank you guys very, very much.
Yes. Heather, thank you. We're going to try to get you on one of these as well. And Kevin, you're the best, really. You're the most wonderful, goofy guy we know.
All of you guys, my gosh, you guys are the coolest. And this is us. This is coming from me and Gary. Mm-hmm. When we say you guys are the coolest, the bar is like,
we don't just raise the bar.
We are the bar. All right. Gary, I'll see you later.